Universal background checks. What I did in my remarks this morning, kind of trying to lay them out in buckets. You know, access, dangerousness, and places. Three things. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. For those of us who grew up with that persuasion, that was kind of, you can only remember three things. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So in terms of access, background checks. ADP. I know that's the other thing that helps me too. So access, universal background checks, right? You know, in Virginia, private sales, you can purchase a firearm in a private sale. We do have direct sales in Virginia. Actually, Virginia. Just give you a few numbers. Our state police do a fantastic job when they do background checks when you purchase a gun from a federally licensed gun dealer. And we, you know how many of those we do per day? Anybody guess? How many firearm transactions are per day?
3,000.
Well, that's a lot. 3,000. That's a lot, but it's 1,222. It's not that far off. Now that's 7 days a week. So that's 446,000 per year.
Wow.
And that's not one firearm in a transaction. You can buy multiple firearms because we don't have one gun a month anymore. So those are so that's almost. And in 2016 we had over 500,000 transactions. It's declined a little bit. So last year it was 1,222 per day. It comes up to 446,000. So it's a lot of firearm transactions. Over 3,500 individuals have been denied because of the form. You know, they've had something on their record that would deny them from purchasing a firearm. So, but we don't even know how many guns are being sold and transacted outside of the background check because it's permissible in Virginia. So that's a loophole we want to close. We want to make all sales of firearms subject to a background check.
Do that.
Reinstate one gun a month. That was the law of the land. Governor Wilder really promoted this. 1993 it passed. It was repealed in 2013. Third one I think has the best chance. You're all going to ask me what are the chances. I think this is the one we've really been pushing hard because there are some good examples. It's called the extreme risk law, or red flag law, or extreme risk protection order. Whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, but it addresses the situation where somebody has demonstrated behavior that they are a threat to themselves or others. And themselves is an important one because of those 1,028 deaths last year, 664 were suicide.
Yeah.
So the extreme risk law will allow law enforcement the opportunity to get to that house and take the gun out of that home. And there's a number of due process protections built into the legislation. Rick Sullivan, one of your delegates here from McLean, and George Barker from Fairfax have patroned that bill and done a great job. I really think we can pass that because Florida passed it after Parkland. Florida with a Republican legislature, Republican governor. Yeah. Indiana under Governor Mike Pence passed that law. 15 states. Every time I say 15, every time I say the number of states, Lori corrects me. It keeps going up, which is a good thing. Is it 15 today? Or?
Yes, it is.
All right, it's still 15. But let's be the 16th.
Yeah.
Let's be the 16th.
There you go.
Child access prevention. The other third leading cause of gun death is accidents, and a lot of them have to do with our kids. And so let's tighten up the laws around child access prevention laws, child access protection laws. So those are the four around access. There's also lost and stolen. Law enforcement is really wants individuals to be able to, or be required to report a lost or stolen firearm. It helps them trace back to the original owner,
right,
and the transactional history with respect to that gun. All right, dangerousness. You know, in Virginia Beach, we saw the use of a suppressor. We constantly teach in our schools, with all the school safety legislation we've passed, run, fight, hide. Well, that's premised on being able to hear that there's gunshots. And if you can't hear them, you know, the killer in Virginia Beach was able to go to 3 different floors. And so, and the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals just recently said that silencers, suppressors, whatever you want to call them, are not protected by the Second Amendment. So this is constitutional. We can ban silencers in the Commonwealth. High capacity magazines. Right now the law is 20 rounds. We want to reduce that to no more than 10. And then the assault weapon ban. So that's about dangerousness. Oh, and bump stocks. You know, the federal ATF has banned bump stocks, but that can change. You know, next president or time change. We want to put that on the books in the Commonwealth. Ban bump stocks.
The next president will not get rid of that law. The next president is going to make sure we get all the laws.
Positive thinking.
So, well, I don't know. Congress, I'd like to think the state, we're so close. We're so close in the state to passing these laws.
So we're going to do it.
So we'll get to that. So last would be, you know, the places. I know a new chairman of the County Board of Supervisors would like the ability. I mean, Fairfax County has, what, over 1 million people?
Yep, 1.2.
Has an enormous budget, yet he doesn't have the ability, he and his fellow county board members don't have the ability. You know, they have the responsibility of educating your kids, providing transportation, all of the services and responsibilities, but they don't have the authority to ban firearms from their own county board building.
That's right. And we've been asking for that for 20 years. 20 years. So if anything, after what happened in Virginia Beach, this being a municipal building, let's at least hopefully get that. 20 years of asking.
So, as Jeff says, in Virginia Beach, that's an example of somebody coming in with a municipal building. I use the example of Charlottesville in August of 2017. We wanted to ban firearms. We knew white supremacists were coming to unite the right rally. We had an idea there could be as many as 1,000. And then you have counter-protesters. And Charlottesville was not able to prohibit firearms. We could prohibit everything else, but not firearms. And firearms were brought to the city of Charlottesville, and we saw them up close that morning. And so, you know, that really struck me that the locality should have the opportunity, when we know that a dangerous incident is likely to occur. So those are the bills. Let me just speak to the process momentarily. You know, all the legislators are going to come down. Actually, we don't have all 100.